All right, welcome back, YouTube. Thank you guys for the comments. I see them coming in. Let's let me know if you can't hear me in the comment section, but I am going to talk about the pretty much like the latest thing that's going on with Coinbase, and also just kind of go over this like the times that we're in right now when it comes down to the multiple consolidations that we're seeing right now, but more importantly, the one that we're seeing with the exchanges and how crucial it is for us to make sure that we're removing our coins from the exchanges. What I often see, and before we even get into things, but what I often see and a very common question that I get is like, which exchanges are safe? And I choose my words very carefully because the truth of the matter is there's no such thing as a safe exchange right now. All of the exchanges are they're experiencing this at the same time. Exchanges popped up at almost at the same speed as which we got these cryptocurrencies, right? And when we have these exchanges popping up, they make money the same way, which is through transactions, or AKA our volume, and of course, lending our coins out. So when we look at the adjustment that Coinbase is even making here, we have to say, why Coinbase Pro? And remember, Coinbase Pro was literally designed for traders. Coinbase Pro has lower fees than Coinbase. So this is something that they were making technically less revenue on, but it was to incentivize people who were doing more transactions. You have to kind of ask yourself, why would you get rid of the one that has the lower fees? And the answer is it becomes more of a liability here when we have times of low volume and you're not making the same revenue. And in addition, you have things like your wallets and stuff like that, which is one of the reasons why you have to remove your coins. But because we're seeing this across the board, and this is why I say there's no such thing as a safe exchange, because they're all vulnerable to this. When you have there's three things pretty much going on right now. You have just the consolidation of volume, which is going to hurt all of them, no matter what size they are. I know like Coinbase is huge, Binance is huge, FTX is huge, but they're all feeling that hurt from the lower volume. Don't be mistaken by that. And then you also have the retail sector, us, we're removing our coins. We're saying, Ledger is, if you look at any of the news, Ledger's been talking about Trezor, stuff like this. They're saying, hey, we're putting up record numbers, record amount of profits this quarter and stuff like that. We've done, if I'm not mistaken, Ledger did the same amount of volume last quarter as they did the entire year in 2021. So you have to think about what the magnitude of the amount of coins that's flying off of these exchanges. So now you're seeing the loss. That's potential income. Like, you got to look at opportunity costs, and then of course you have the sector of like the uncertainty of the market in general going forward. So now they're saying, okay, we're losing money on transactions. We don't know how aggressive this is going to be. You see definitely the largest exchanges. There's massive fear in the market. People are filing for bankruptcy and all these kinds of stuff like that. The retail sector doesn't trust us. They're removing their coins. So how do we get in front of this? How do we deal with how do we like survive this downtrend in the bear market and even be around for the next bull market? You're going to see them start doing these cuts. And so that's why you see the affiliate program being cut and stuff like that with a lot of these exchanges, even on Coinbase and stuff like that. You'll see Coinbase Pro being removed. You'll see the staking rewards, the interest rate and stuff like that literally just start getting chopped down. Nobody's going to borrow those coins anyway. So, they're losing their revenue 3-4 different ways. And this is one of the reasons why you have to make sure you remove your coins. Technically speaking, the Coinbase wallet, I see you guys are asking questions about the Coinbase wallet and stuff like that. Technically speaking, you have like your seed phrases and stuff like that. So it's non-custodial. I haven't seen anything where the actual wallet would be affected. And I know that it's a free option, but this is one of the reasons why I say cold storage is the best, because they can come out with the news and any kind of stuff like this and change these things at any moment. But from what I know though, I haven't seen any information stating that the wallets are affected as of right now. But this is just something I want to address with the community especially as when we were talking about shorts and the importance of removing our coins and stuff like this. The speed at which this comes out and they say we're making an adjustment, that's how fast these things can change. And you have to be prepared for that in your investment if you're going to hold your coins, on, I don't want to say technically a cold storage, but you can call it like a warm or whatnot, have it attached to, the internet or via an exchange or something like that. You're going to be exposed to certain things. And this is why I say, even if you go with the Titans, Binance, Coinbase, FTX and stuff like that, there's still a certain amount of risk there, because the biggest thing is they're not disclosing ahead of time, hey, this is how bad we're hurting. This is how bad the margins were. This is how much we've lent. We desperately need you guys to stop removing your coins from the exchange. Like, you're not going to hear about that until it's like, hey, look, we hit the switch earlier today. We know you guys are wondering what's going on, but at the end of the day, we're going to do what's best for us. And we'll see you guys in court. So that's one of the reasons why I've been ahead of the curve when it comes down to removing these your coins and stuff like this, because it's really, really crucial. And this is not going to, as long as we have mass uncertainty in the economy and our macros, this is not going to reach a solution for these exchanges, because the exchanges are modeled after the banks, which is they're going to need your coins, they're going to need access to your revenue via volume and stuff like that in order to make money. That's their business model. So until they can figure out, which I don't believe is going to be the same now because of the lack of trust and stuff is there, but until that happens, we're going to see the issues that we're seeing with exchanges. So remove your coins. And another thing is, make sure that you're going directly to the websites when you're getting your cold storage or whatever type of storage. Make sure that you're not getting it via like a third party. There's a lot of scams out there. You'll read the reviews on companies, on websites like Amazon and stuff like that. And you'll see people trying to upload their coins and their coins just vanish and stuff like that when you go to these third-party sites. I use Ledger. I have an affiliate link in the description. You can go directly to the website and get a Ledger. There are other out there. I know I heard Trezor's pretty good, but I personally use Ledger, and I haven't had any issues. And they have tutorials on everything as far as for how to move your coins, how to buy coins and stuff like that on Ledger Live. It's all pretty much together. So just going to keep access in mind, because outside of being invested and being in the right place at the right time, you have to make sure that you have access. Because when you have your coins on there and you see something like a Chapter 11 bankruptcy, don't get me wrong, Chapter 11 bankruptcy is very different from Chapter 7 bankruptcy. But the biggest thing is you have to consider the timing in there. Like, okay, how much money are we going to get back? How long is it going to take for us to get the money back? Because bankruptcy and going through court and stuff like that, that's not a quick process. That's not something that you'll say, oh, okay, next month I'll have my money back. You don't know how much you're getting back, and you don't know how long it's going to take. It could be years, honestly. So if I were in anyone's position, honestly, at this point, I can't tell you what to do. This is just my humble opinion. I think it's worth the additional investment to have your coins outside of the reach of any of these exchanges, any of their platforms, any of their wallets that they have to offer. Because at the end of the day, only you are going to do what's best for you and your investment portfolio and your family. The exchanges, as much as you can complain on Twitter all day, I can make all the YouTube videos I want. They're going to do what's best for their company and their survival. And if that means cutting off like a lot of programs that we find beneficial, or locking up our coins so we can't remove them, then so be it. That's going to be their first, instinct, is their survival. And as retailers, as investors, we have to think that same way. What is in our best interest? What is in the best interest of your portfolio, your family? And that's going to be having control over your assets. That's literally, like, you can make that number 2 outside of being invested in general, is making sure that you have access to your actual investment. So I think that's going to be the biggest thing going forward here. I'm not going to get too much into the Coinbase thing, because Coinbase is doing what it hasn't necessarily filed for bankruptcy or something yet. It may not, just because it's so big, but let this be evidence that Coinbase is feeling the crunch and that no matter how much revenue or how much advertising they have or affiliate programs and how big they are, or whatever, they're all feeling the crunch of what's going on right now because they all make money the same way. So just keep that in mind and make sure that you're getting your coins out the grasp of these exchanges, because I would hate for everyone in the next bull cycle to say, hey, I wish, I would have been up X amount of, tens of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars, but my coins got wiped out in that bankruptcy. And I'll say this here, just like I believe 5-10 years from now, a lot of these coins won't be here. Same thing with these exchanges. We're going to see a consolidation in these exchanges. A lot of these exchanges are not going to be here. They're going to be acquired by some of the bigger exchanges. You're going to see the exchange market kind of just condensed, and you'll have some original market maker, something similar that you do in the stock market, where most of the orders go through, maybe 2 or 3 exchanges. So just keep that in mind, because the blueprint that they're following has already been laid out via the stock market. This is literally, so far, they're desperately building or trying to build what already exists in the stock market. The only question is what kind of regulation we're going to get. So please remove your coins from the exchanges. I'm going to take some questions now. So let's see here. I have everything removed except Cardano on uphold. It isn't optional. No, that's fine. As long as you're removing as much you can, that's the best you can do. I know some people are like, you'll see stuff like hey, I'm in New York or something, I can't remove my coins. That's fine. Or if you purchase on something like a Webull and they don't offer you a wallet and you don't have the option to remove your coins, I understand. Just make sure if you're going to acquire any more, like with something Ledger, they offer like Ledger Live or something, or if you want to just continue purchasing through some of the traditional exchanges, make sure they have a wallet so that you can get off. So, don't worry about that. And another thing with DCA, I see that's a big question too. What's my DCA? What's my DCA? You can keep track of your DCA if you want to write down, or they have DCA calculators. If you want to know your DCA or something like that when you transfer off, you can keep all of that personally, your records. At the end of the day, if you bought in like several different exchanges or something like that, and you're consolidating it into one place, that's all fine. The biggest thing is it's way more important to actually have your coins than know what your DCA is. Like I promise you that DCA will mean nothing if it's tied up in a bankruptcy. Let's see, we're all. I don't think so. Isn't Robinhood a brokerage? Everyone said Robinhood is safe. They're protected. Who said that? Wow. Robinhood is like, remember GameStop and AMC and Dogecoin last year? Robinhood is like the founding father of pulling the plug on trades and stuff like that. Like it's, I don't know who said that. Robinhood does offer wallets though, so you can remove your coins and stuff from Robinhood. So they do have wallets depending on where you're at. I know New York, it's a little bit of a challenge, but Robinhood does have wallets. If Coinbase goes down, how will you trade in New York? They're the only legal exchange. I don't know. As of right now, there's no evidence for Coinbase going down. This is just them making adjustments, more than likely to get additional revenue, because I'm sure the goal is to have those Coinbase Pro people and stuff like, even though they have lower fees and stuff like that on Coinbase Pro, I'm sure that they're saying that, okay, because of branding or so, maybe some of them will stay on Coinbase and they just won't all flee the platform. But as you can see, even though in the article I have posted here is Coinbase falters and Binance is waiting in the wings, because as of right now, this looks like a financing issue, and people are literally like, oh my God, no, not this again. And you can imagine the people that are trying to get off of Coinbase right now. So, but I'm sure Coinbase calculated the risk of all that, and they knew that this was going to happen, but probably just for more than likely, I'm not going to say probably, but more than likely it was far more beneficial for them to phase out Coinbase Pro just because of the times that we're in. So, I'm not sure what would happen as far as for New York, but I will say that if you do have the option now to remove your coins, I'd make haste, especially in New York, because your options are so limited. I'd make haste. Let's see, investing altogether. Can't even trust the exchanges. Even in a cold storage, you got to put it back on an exchange to sell anyway. So what's the point? Okay, excellent question. Let's deal with this. So, like, let's say something on a ledger, you can technically buy and sell on Ledger Live without technically sending it back to Robinhood or something like that. And the second thing is, you can have your coins until it's a much better time to sell your coins, because it's only an issue right now. The only reason we're seeing these bankruptcies, we're seeing Voyager and Celsius and all these other companies, with the withdrawal issues and stuff like that, is because of what we're going through right now, which is the recession and the bear market that we're in the markets. It's easy to move your coins around and revenue around in a bull market because everybody's making money. See, the question is, how many people will have access to their investment on the next bull run? Because as of right now, it's not even a matter of holding, because you can say, oh, I want to hold because I don't want to lose money because of the price. And now you got to worry about the exchanges taking your coins. Because now you have to say, okay, can I hold during, the price decreasing, 20, 30% or whatever? And the exchange is like, well, we're going to take your coins at any price. We want all of them, because we need them. So that's the biggest difference. That's the point, is that you have at least the option to hold your coins until it's convenient to get rid of them. Because, unless you just simply want to sell right now on the time, like that's the biggest difference. Otherwise, you're giving up your control of the coin and letting the exchange make that decision for you. The market is going to decide if it's favorable for you to get rid of your coins right now. The market's going to decide if it's favorable for you to even have access to your coins right now. So removing your coins, putting them in a cold storage, is saying that regardless of what happens with the exchanges, if the Fed comes out and says, we're going to hike basis points up 5 points, and all the exchanges close their doors, you have your coins. That's the difference. That's the purpose of the cold storage. You say, I have my coins on my ledger. I can access my coins via my ledger. And 2025, I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. I have my coins. Nobody robbed me. That's the difference, in my opinion. Let's see. Life ain't ruined. Buying opportunities are now. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. The more of these exchanges come out and start doing things like this and making these adjustments, that's the more panic that's going to set in. Absolutely. Won't the exchanges collapse if everyone removes? Absolutely. A lot of them will. And this is, I think, is going to happen anyway, just because I believe that there's a certain amount of people, we don't know how much yet, but this is something we're going to have to look back on. There's a certain percentage of people who are never going to hold their coins on an exchange again, just because of what happened right now. This is like, you have that percentage of people who are scarred or just like forever affected, and they're like, I'll never trust them again. There's a certain percentage of people who are like, I'm never, ever, ever leaving my coins on the exchange again. So this is doing a lot of, this is doing damage to them anyway, but we'll see probably some regulation and some fancy laws and stuff like that come out on the other side of this to prevent these bankruptcies and stuff like that. I'm sure the SEC, Gary Gensler and all that are going to have a lot to say at some point, but their hands are tied right now with the economy. But you best believe some regulation is coming. But yes, if everyone pulls their coins out of the exchanges, especially right now with the low volume that we're seeing across the board, yeah, most of them will disappear into the wind. Absolutely. Our trust wallet is that safe. I have a ledger and going to remove my assets from Coinbase. Yeah, from what I understand, trust wallet is non-custodial, so you should be okay. It's not cold storage, but it's it's certainly better as long as it's non-custodial, aka you have your phrase, your keywords and stuff like that to access it. You are, I'm not going to say safe, because obviously some of them are still on platforms, but you're in a much better position. Non-custodial is the way to go. I use cold wallet because I don't even want my stuff, on the internet or linked to a platform, just for a number of reasons. But, if you have access to your coins only via phrase, that's the way to go, especially right now. You can remove your coins from Robinhood. Absolutely. I plan to get a ledger. Yeah, please do. Please do. Yep, I have an affiliate link in the description section. So no BS, no malware already loaded onto there or nothing. You go directly to the website. So absolutely. What about stocks? I have stocks on Robinhood. Where's a safe place to store them, or is there? No. Yeah, see, that's a great question. That's the benefit of crypto. You have the option with crypto to remove your coins from the exchanges. Stocks, you're kind of screwed. They have this. You can turn off share lending or something like that. Do we know if they're still lending the shares? But you don't have the option. You can't take your stocks out of the stock exchange, right? And it's not exactly the same as crypto, but you have an additional option with crypto, which is literally to tie up your coins so that only you can access them, right? That's the whole point of being decentralized. If nobody knows your phrases, or if you decide to, or if you forget your phrases, those coins are technically lost forever. So that's the benefit. So we have to make sure that we're utilizing and playing the game to our benefits. So, but yeah, stocks, nope. You're on the books either way they go. Can you move from Robinhood to a ledger? Absolutely. So you pull your coins, and when the exchanges collapse, you'll have your worthless coins safe in a cold wallet. That's not how it works, but that's not. It's not necessarily the exchanges that determine value. The exchange is literally, a pretty much like a middleman. It's kind of like the stock exchange. There, you have several tiers in there where they mediate the buy and the sell. So that's not exactly where not volume, but that's where convenience comes from. But that's not where value comes from. Bitmart stole my coins. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. So, yeah, I love your channel. Thanks to them, I learned about the exchanges, and I'm almost done moving my coins from Robinhood. There's a daily limit to withdraw. It's horrible what has happened to some. Absolutely. And you'll see that over the course of time, especially as this continues, and you'll see that people are removing their coins. You'll just watch. You'll see those daily withdrawal limits. You'll see them start coming down. It may be 5K, and they're gonna say, "Oh, the most you can remove today is 3,000 coins." 1,000 coins. You'll see that. You'll see that they're going to they're going to cut down on the amount you can move out, because that's their liquidity. Your coins are their assets. Please subscribe and hit the like button. Absolutely, I appreciate that. Definitely subscribe and hit the like button. David was saying this before 3 arrows. I will listen to him. I'm learning as I go. Also, let me tell you, a cold wallet is easy. Yeah, I definitely was saying this before 3 arrows. Absolutely. But it's okay. People are listening now. So as long as they make haste, it will certainly work to their benefit. My ledger came, and I need to move my coins. Hope they have good instructions. Can we move stocks off? As of right now, there's no way that I know that you can remove the stocks, but you can certainly remove your coins. And I'll post some links tonight so that you can have the instructions and stuff like that. And they're not my links. It'll be directly from Ledger. I will post some links from several different coins and stuff like that about removing your coins and transferring them over to Ledger. So just look out in my community section on my page, and I'll post some of those links about where you can find that information and stuff. Coinbase is an exchange. Robinhood is a brokerage. Yeah. Well, yeah, because Coinbase is not necessarily doing stocks and stuff like that. I'm going to go back. Yeah, because the thing about Robinhood is they froze transactions on both sides. Like, we've seen Robinhood last year. We've seen them freeze, with the whole GameStop situation. We've seen them do it with AMC. And then also we've seen it during the peak of the Dogecoin run as well, because obviously at that time, and still today, I believe, most of the Dogecoin were on that exchange. We've seen them that, those unscheduled maintenances and stuff like that were popping up. last year. So they've technically done it on both sides of their business. But absolutely, yeah, those are technically the exchange and brokerage. Those are two different things. This Robinhood is multifaceted. We love you, David. Thanks for your due diligence. I appreciate you, Brandon. Stocks are supposed to be SIP insured. Yeah, stocks do. Even in the stock market, we have regulations and stuff like that, and we have more, insurance for our. There's more protection, right? "Quote unquote," for our investments, right? It's kind of like at the bank. Technically, you have your CD or your money that you have in your savings account at the bank. It's more heavily regulated, so you have some protections in there, or some guaranteed money. Versus, Gary Gensler, he called the crypto market the wild, wild west because of the lack of regulation. So, if you're in an exchange or if you're staking your coins or something like that, you're not guaranteed anything. If you look at some of the information that Jim and I put up there, they'll tell you, hey, you signed up to be a lender when you bought coins on our exchange, and you may lose everything and we're not going to give you anything. We're not entitled to anything. It can be total loss. That's the nature of these exchanges right now because there is no regulation. So, that's the game that your people are playing when they leave their coins on. That's another good reason to remove your coins. There's next to no regulation on exchanges. So, have to make sure that you're doing what's best for you. See, what do you think about moving your coins about moving things to Trust Wallet? It's an option. It's an option. From what I understand, Trust Wallet is decentralized. It's an option. It's just when I say ledger or cold storage, that's just my preference. By all means, you can do what you want, but Trust Wallet is an option. See, Coinbase has been through all the bear seasons. Y'all are crazy. Coinbase has been through all the bear seasons with us printing money. This is one of the reasons why we see this is going across several different exchanges, because out of the bear markets, we've technically been printing money to some extent for the last 10 years. Pretty much, well, I say at least from like 2008 or so, there's always been some degree of money printing coming in. We stopped in 2018 briefly. And if you look at even like the S&P, if you look at like the SPY or the NASDAQ or something like that, and you look at like on a 5 year or so, you look at 2018, you'll see that dip down when we threatened to stop printing money, and they pretty much started back. And then of course, we ramped it up a bit during the pandemic and started doing the $130 billion a month into mortgage-backed securities and stuff like that. And we weaned off April, May of this year, roughly. So even with the bear market that we saw around the COVID, that was technically the shortest bear market in history. So right now, we are going through, these exchanges are all going through technically their first bear market without injections of money. And so this is going to be a little different from the previous bear markets. So that's just kind of why you're seeing like these bankruptcies and stuff like that, because they're not going to, the stock market is not getting bailed out right now. The real estate rates are rising, and it'll be dangerous to start making it rain stimulus money again. So with no help in sight, they're making these harsh adjustments relatively quickly. So it'll be interesting. That's why I still believe, I'm not saying that Coinbase, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that Coinbase is going to go bankrupt. I'm not saying that their funds are locked up and stuff like that. But I am saying that this is evidence that they are feeling the burn here. And I have no idea what their financial situations are. They don't reveal it until after they've locked up accounts and stuff. I'm just saying, as a retailer, I wouldn't trust it. That's all I'm saying. In my opinion, my humble opinion, I think it's extremely risky to leave your coins on these exchanges right now. So that's just my opinion, though. I don't know anything. Is Coinbase wallet bad? Coinbase wallet, yeah. I wouldn't leave it on Coinbase, but if you're talking about like the Coinbase Pro and the decentralized and with your seed phrases and stuff like that, as of right now, I haven't heard of it being affected. I wouldn't, at this point, I would want nothing to do with an exchange as far as for storing my coins. But I know that it's an option for a lot of people compared to, investing like $100 or something bucks in like a device. I get it. But technically speaking, as for now, we haven't seen any issues with, I haven't heard anything about their wallets, because they do offer, I think Coinbase Pro offers a decentralized wallet that you can do your seed phrases and stuff. And I haven't heard of that being affected just yet. But I wouldn't want my coins anywhere near an exchange right now. Should I leave as little possible on Coinbase just because the wallet remains on the ledger? Yeah, I would, unless you're trading or because right now it's highly unlikely right now that we're going to get a bull run in crypto or even the stock market right now. It's highly unlikely. So unless you're trading or something like that, it's really risky just to keep it on there. I would say that you would still have time, and bull runs are not something that last a day or 2 days or like a week or something like that. There's no such thing as I think that what most people think of when they say, oh, I'm going to not be able to sell or not be able to get my coins on the exchange in time, you're thinking about spikes. If you're talking about a legitimate bull run, that's not something that disappears in a couple of days or a week or something like that. So you will have time. So I think that just prioritizing having your access to your coins is going to take you a long way, versus trying to catch a 5-10% pop up and saying that this is going to be the signal for the market taking off. So I think just prioritizing the coins is going to be better off for a lot of people. Coinbase wallet is non-custodial and not part of the exchange, correct? Meaning if Coinbase collapsed, Coinbase wallet is a standalone entity like Trust Wallet, correct? From what I understand, this is correct. I have some people I've reached out to, and I'll be looking at it myself. We're going to go over the fine print tonight. But from what I understand, that is correct. So similar to what we discovered, if you read the terms of service and the TOS, like a lot of these different exchanges, they say certain things under certain circumstances. So this is, at this time, I think the Coinbase wallets are something to be reevaluated. But from what I understand, that is the case, and that is in fact true. Buffett is buying stock now. The same info applies to this in crypto. Let's go Doge. Yeah. When you're seeing all this stuff, don't get me wrong. There's massive discounts across the market altogether. This is certainly a great time to, especially if you're long term. Buffett's a long term investor. You're getting things at a discount right now. So the short term noise is going to disappear. But obviously, if you have your coins on the exchanges, your short term can become everything if they take them from you. So that's the entire purpose of this video. But absolutely, things are certainly on sale right now. Me too, Sego. Definitely smart move. Glad David mentioned it, because you never know what people will do to being sold to the middleman. Absolutely. Do you think Doge will touch the low fives again? It's possible. It's possible. The biggest thing we're going to have to do is look at I think it's the 23rd or I think it's the 25th and 26th of this month when we hear from Powell. That's going to give us an indicator of like the next 60 days. So we'll find out. But we'll find out this upcoming week, because if they start talking about these higher basis points and stuff like that, they're going to try and price it in so that they're not shocking the market later this month. So that's something I'll have a better idea about next week. See, Coinbase is delaying my SHIB move to my cold wallet for a few days, move my Doge with no issue. That's interesting. I don't know. It could be the chain, or maybe they changed the withdrawal limits. So that's something to look into. That's very interesting, though. On the strongest exchanges will survive. I agree. Absolutely. Likely the amount of coins, they say it's a security measure. Absolutely. Yeah, that's what I just was thinking. When you start transferring large amounts of coins, they're going to start pumping the brakes on your transfers. So just kind of keep that in mind. All right, so I don't want to make this video into a movie. Subscribe to the channel, like the video for more, and I will report back tomorrow with my findings on Coinbase wallet and stuff. I'm going to look. I'm going to look at the terms of service and stuff like that, so that we can just get a better idea of what the wallets, and see if they're truly standalone. But I do believe that is in fact the case. Let's see. I asked this with no malice intended. You promo Webull. Is Webull a trustworthy app to hold crypto on? Webull doesn't currently offer a wallet for crypto. I do like Webull for, obviously, like for stocks and stuff like that. It's one of my favorite platforms as far as for tracking volume and income outcome percentages and stuff like that. Their wheel is incredible. Don't get me wrong about that. But as of right now, Webull does not offer a wallet to transfer out of your crypto, to transfer your crypto out of Webull. So as of right now, if you're looking specifically to buy crypto, it wouldn't be a good idea to hold your to buy coins on Webull at the moment. Now, Webull is not primarily exchange; it's a very small percentage of their business. So I don't believe Webull is going to. I don't believe Webull has the same risk level of a lot of these exchanges who primarily do crypto. But at the same time, it's an unnecessary risk, and it's a risk that I wouldn't take. So if you have accumulated on there, I'd stop and do something where you can remove your coins to a ledger. You know, the markets, the times have changed, the sentiment has changed with these exchanges. So we have to adapt. Whatever happened to the guy Upshine? Last I heard, he has a different channel now. He's still on YouTube. It's like Chris Crypto or something like that. GME split coming. Yeah, definitely splitting up. So not gonna do much for the value. Still gonna be the same thing, but yeah, I did hear about the flip. I think it's a 4-to-1 split or 3-to-1, something like that. So okay, so again, I will see you guys tomorrow. I'll report back with what I find out about the wallets and stuff like that, and we will go from there. Again, subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave me a comment in the regular comment section with your questions and stuff like that, and I'll try and get back to as many of you as possible. All right, thank you all. Have a good night.